Well, hey there, my friend. Welcome back to the Creative Shop Talk podcast. This is our final episode of season 5. Holy moly, puddin' and pie, as they say. So happy to have you here. I'm your host, Wendy Batten, and I wanted to end this season with, I guess, something real and honest. I can't tell if this is vulnerability post. Somebody said it was, but anyhow, here we go. I'm just also really grateful. I can't believe we are on episode 289 episodes. Thank you for listening. We have thousands of downloads every month listening to little old me here. So I'm just so grateful. I appreciate you. I appreciate what you do. I appreciate you listening and telling your friends about the podcast and building the businesses that you're building. It's not easy, right? It's not easy. So thank you for tuning in every month. I get to hear lots of feedback from so many of you. I appreciate and read all of your comments and it's just, I don't know. Thank you for listening. That's all I'm going to say. So season 5 is ending and we are taking a little pause for the rest of the year. So there will be no podcast episodes for the month of December. My team and I both needed a little pause in our business, our business and all the things we're doing. That's actually something that I want to talk about today, just about reflecting and stepping into next year, really paying attention to what we need, not just for our business. And I know I talked about that last week, but also what being the CEO of what our life needs, right? So that's important as well. So let's jump into today's episode. Running a retail business doesn't have to be so hard. Welcome to the Creative Shop Talk podcast, the go-to podcast for creative shop owners, studio owners, and independent retailers. I'm your host, Wendy Batten, retail business coach and mentor. Each week, I'll share simple, proven business strategies, inspiring stories from fellow retailers, and advice from industry experts. Together, we're going to work to find the success you want from your retail business with more profits in your till and a little more joy in your life. Okay, last week we talked about being the CEO your business needs. Today, I want to shift the lens just a little bit and be honest with you, I guess, that your business can only grow to the level that you can sustain it, right? So this year, as it ends, it reminded me that in a very real way, we also need to make sure that our life is running, I guess. Does that make sense? That our life needs to run. So today I'm going to share a few things that I don't talk about often, not so much to be vulnerable for vulnerability's sake, but because I think it might be very helpful to you as the head of your brand, and as we head into a brand new year, to just reflect on a few things in the same way that I've been doing. So this is a conversation about alignment. It's about energy, about identity, about the honest adjustments that we need to make in our business as business owners who also have lives, right? We also have lives, and our lives evolve too. As our businesses evolve, so do our lives, so do the things that we need, so do the things that fuel us. So let's settle in and let's dig in a little bit deeper, I guess, if you will. And again, 5 seasons of podcasting I've shared some of these stories before, but I just wanted to share a few things and a few shifts that we're making. So earlier this year, I hit a stretch where I could feel myself drifting out of alignment. And I know that word alignment is thrown around a lot, so sometimes I don't like using it, but it really is the only word I can think of that fits in here. This is nothing dramatic, and it's just like, that gut feeling you get, that slow, just intuition maybe is another way of looking at it. So for me, when I'm off, it shows up in anxiety. And so I don't talk about this very often. And I had a client that I've worked with really closely with, and who's, we've just been together quite a bit, and in personal things too, like we've been out for dinner and we've had a long relationship. And she said she was absolutely blown away when I mentioned that I also suffer from anxiety. It doesn't debilitate me now, but it used to. So I have talked about it here on the podcast. It is something that I've navigated for most of my, I want to say adult life, but also in my childhood. There's lots of stories there, but I've had panic attacks and I've lost my hair in grade 6. I just like, I think I've shared this here before, but there's all kinds of stuff. I come by it, I guess, naturally. A lot of family members have anxiety. Anyway, don't want to tell any stories that aren't mine to tell. And this isn't about really my anxiety, but it is about the fact that I have tools, strategies, and habits now that if I ignore the whispers get louder and just things kind of go sideways. So there's been times this year where the whispers were loud. Like the feeling was like something's out of alignment, Wendy. And that's actually why I created the Thrive list, which I teach to my members, to my clients. And the Thrive list really it's like my owner's manual, I guess, and if things are off in my Thrive list, or things are off in my life that aren't on my Thrive list, whether it's rest or relaxation or time on my calendar, or I don't know, just different things. And I can share a little bit more about that. But if it's off, that's when the anxiety starts. So I can remember like sitting at my desk one day and like the tightness in my chest, and maybe you've experienced that as well too. So what's going on here is what I tell myself. What's out of alignment? What needs attention? And it kind of builds slow. And that might be, you might experience that as well too. And I can't stop the ball rolling because there's all these things happening, right? So if you've been a listener for a while, you've heard me talk about this before. And as I said, the Thrive list is really basically my operating system. It's how I roll. So it doesn't get out of alignment very often because I am so aware of it. But I was drifting into, I don't know, maybe just drifting into a little more unaligned and like not doing what I needed to do. I guess that's a great way of saying this. And you're wondering, what has all this got to do with your podcast? Well, I just wanted to share this because I think maybe it would be helpful to you as well if you ever feel like you're out of alignment. So around this time that things were feeling like, I don't know, it's just like this nagging thing, right? That there's just this heaviness maybe. And one of my clients, one of my very good clients, in a mastermind meeting, shared the quote and reminded me of the quote, the Dolly Parton quote that says, "Find out who you are and do it on purpose." And I was like, that's what's out of alignment. I have like all these other things that I kind of want to do and other things I need, I'm feeling weird around. And she was sharing how she's really niched down. And this actually works really well when you really know your brand and you're really like spot on in your brand, and you do that. So it doesn't get messy, right? It just sort of really focus in on your brand, and you get clear and you really embrace who you are, what you need to do, how you need to show up, all of those things. And that's, I think, where I was feeling a little out of alignment. I printed up that quote and I stuck it to my computer. It's been on my computer. Somebody actually noticed it the other day when I shared a video. It was kind of funny. Anyhow, but the truth is this year I felt a little messy about what I do, how I do it, who I serve, what I want to do over the next, like, what does the next decade of my life look like? My business life look like? All of the things I teach, actually. I actually, like, that quote became like a little, I don't know, lighthouse, like a little guiding principle. Find out who you are and do it on purpose. Find out who you are and do it on purpose. It was like a little strobe light. Is that it? Is that the right word? Anyhow, that line guided me in a lot of decisions over the last 2 quarters, I guess. So I just want to put it on you. So thinking about, does that ever come up with for you? Like, are you doing everything in alignment? Are you find out who you are and do it on purpose with your brand? Is your brand super clear? Are you feeling good with your brand and the direction of it? And those were the questions I was asking myself. So I met with my business coach. I have a strategic business coach, and she's someone who helps me think honestly and boldly, I guess, about my business. That's what a business coach does, and big picture. And together we were really like revisiting that big question. Things like, who are my dreamy clients? Who are the people who energize me? What fuels me? What what work do I love doing? And like, what part of this do I love? And it was starting to become clearer and clearer. So I realized like my dreamy clients are clients who love to grow their business. They don't like the hustle culture. They want a life-friendly business. They take responsibility. They show up. They love to learn. They think bigger. They care about impact. And they're building something that matters. And what I realized was I was working with some non-aligned clients, if I'm being honest. So those clients I love working with, they're not chasing shiny objects. Like they're not all over the place. They're kind of grounded. Well, like kind of grounded. They're grounded. They're grounded. They want strategy, clarity, leadership, support. I love teaching that. That's what I'm good at. That gives me energy. Those are my fuels. Those are things that fuel me. I also realized that I have a lot of deep motivation around what I do. So again, find out who you are and do it on purpose. Like, well, what does that look like? So I want to impact families. I have a number every year. I'll tell you, I want to impact 500 families a year. That's my goal this year. So what does that look like? And what does that feel like? And I look at my clients and their team and their community as like family units and like just ripples of people. And I really love that. And I don't want to do it in a flashy way. And I don't have to do it like everybody else does it, right? So not through this, I don't know, just different. I want to help people be stronger, healthier, run profitable businesses. I want to teach what I know. I am an educator at heart. I am a leader at heart. I am a dreamer, but I'm also an action taker. I really care deeply about the people that I work with. And I'm not saying all this to share my resume with you if that's it, but this was the process I went through. Again, there's other things I had to realize, like I am not fancy in the way I do things, but I am very intentional about it. And the clarity those kinds of questions just kept helping me get clarity and ground me on what it is like I want to do, right? So today I'm going to share, I think I've got 10 here, 10 things that I'm taking into 2026 and 10 things that I'm leaving behind. So we'll see if I can get through all of these. Well, actually, I shouldn't say it's not 10 I'm taking in, but these are the yin and yang if you will. These are lessons that pulled me back into alignment this year. Hopefully this will, at least one of them may support you as you build your next season and as you think about 2026. So for me, hustle culture is not a strategy. I am not into that. I did that, been there, done that. 3 decades. I've been running businesses for 3 decades. Which is crazy. I've been an entrepreneur for 3 decades, several businesses, and hustle culture is just not a strategy for me. It's just not I know society talks about more. It's not how I'm going to operate. It's not how I want to operate. It's not how I teach my retailers and the other business. Like I work with a lot of other business owners. It's just not how I work. So success does not require speed and hustle all the time. It just requires alignment and knowing and being very clear. So that was one thing. That's something I'm doing. I'm also, number 2, I'm protecting my energy. It's protecting my business. So protecting my energy is protecting my business. If the CEO is depleted, like if I'm not fully energized and happy and if you're not, your business is going to get depleted. So you are the golden egg. We teach this in module 2 or module 1 of my Retail Made Simple course, which is inside my Retailers Inner Circle program. And what I teach there is that you are the golden egg. We have to protect the golden egg, which is the visionary of the business. So we have to make sure we're not depleted. So our energy can't be depleted. So that person has to be, as the CEO, as the golden egg in your business, you have to be fueled and happy and joy-filled. And that is one of the key things I love teaching and helping retailers with. It's one of the things I have to protect with myself too. So number 3, okay, chasing clients comes from a scarcity mindset. So I see this a lot with retailers, and I caught myself with this as well. So attracting right fit clients gives you confidence. Stop chasing clients. Stop chasing clients. So attract, don't chase. Confidence feels different for everybody, but really being proud of what you're doing and the business that you're building, and that this is for me too. These are lessons for Wendy, but this is what I've decided. I am just letting go of chasing anybody. I am just going to, again, be really clear on my brand, what I do, how I help people, do it on purpose, and the right fit people will come in. I am not for everybody. I am not for everybody. You are not for everybody. So stop chasing, start attracting clients. Number 4, perfection. Perfection doesn't matter. Perfection doesn't matter. And I catch myself in that sometimes, polishing things and trying to make them, even better. It doesn't matter. Purpose matters, right? Messy action is still action. B+ work is okay. Gasp. Everybody gasp. Right? But perfection doesn't matter. So perfectly imperfect is fine. This is a lesson for you. It's a lesson for me. We always need to remind ourselves. Number 5, I get to build the business my way that matches who I actually am. So you get to build your business in a way that matches who you actually are. We do not have to copy anybody else. We don't have to do it the way the industry says to do it. As a matter of fact, the clients that I see doing really cool things, they're flying their own freak flag, as I like to say. I am doing things differently. It's okay if I want to change up my programs. It's okay that I put an XO at the end of my emails, although some industry experts told me not to do that, and I don't care. I like that. So we get to build the business our way. So just a lesson and something I've had to remind myself. Number 6, I have decided that I only am going to work with clients that I care deeply about, that care deeply about growing their own business. That sounds kind of meta, doesn't it? Or kind of weird. But I am only going to work with people, and I've really done I want to say I've done a good job at this. This has not been a heavy part of my business over the last little while. I've been weeding out clients, but I am changing some of my programs, and I'm changing some things because I want to be fully aligned in how I serve, and I want to attract the right people. But I only want to work like depth over volume, I guess, is how I'm looking at it. And I think in this era, I'm hoping that resonates with resonates. That's not the right word. I hope that resonates with the right people. And it seems to, and I hope that works. But I also teach this to my clients. We can't serve everybody. We need to serve the right fit clients, right? So you are not for everybody. Your shop is not for everybody. You don't want everybody coming in. You want right fit, feel good clients in your stores too. I want right fit, feel good, serious people in my coaching world too. That kind of goes back to me not chasing anymore. I am not going to convince anybody to join anything. Like, I have no desire to convince anybody. People are either like looking for and seeking out and wanting. I am going to share, but I'm not going to chase, I guess, is back to that. But it's the right fit clients. So that's actually been a big thing for me. I want to help all the people. And then what I've realized is I can't help all the people because they don't want to help themselves. And then I feel really bad, or I don't know. It's just been that's been a drain on me. When we talk about fuels and drains, that has been something that has really been sitting on my shoulder, if you will. It's, a lot. I want to help everybody. I want to help because I have the tools to help. I have the programs, I have the things, but people don't always want to help themselves. So for action takers, people who are interested, people who want to grow, people who are ready to go, that's who I serve well. And that's who I want to do business with. So number 7, my intuition. Okay. My intuition whispers before it screams. So my job is to listen early and trust myself. This comes from a place of trust. So this is something I'd like to remind you of as well too. Right? You know when that little, and this isn't like the voices in your head kind of telling you, imposter syndrome and all that. That's the actual intuition and the whispers. So when something is not right, when something's not aligned, when something feels off, we know. When we know we need to do something. So I know I needed to invest in something a little while ago. And I was like, oh, it's like avoiding that intuition. And then I was like, oh, Wendy, just do it. Like, just do it. And then I felt better. We know we have to, go, maybe it's skill building or something. Your intuition will whisper. Wrong customers also. That actually is part of this journey of my anxiety coming back a little bit, was because I was working with a couple of wrong fit clients. So my intuition was whispering that, and that kind of goes back to those right fit clients, right? And you have that too. I know you do, right? So listen to those whispers before they start screaming at you. Number 8, I don't want to build a business that looks good on the outside but feels bad on the inside. And I see that a lot. External success means nothing if internal alignment is off. Well, that sounds wordy, doesn't it? I just don't build a business that just looks good on the outside. And I see this a lot. I see this regularly. And you're a stressed out, person in the background, or a lot of things are crumbling. This is why we want foundational work. This is what I need to do as well too. So I am like, nothing has been like, I just refuse to do that. I'm just not going to do that. So I'm just that's just a really great reminder. Build a business that looks good. Doesn't just look good. Wait, I won't build a business that looks good on the outside but feels bad on the inside. So we want to make sure that I want to make sure for me that my business feels great and hopefully looks good, but as long as it feels good. A full calendar is not the goal. That's number 9 for me. My Thrive list has unstructured time on it. It has creative time on it. It has that's important now. So if you're busy being busy for the sake of being busy, and I won't say that this is my goal. I'm pretty purposeful and intentional with my time, but I'm reviewing and revisiting my calendar, because a full calendar is not the goal. I do not need a full calendar to feel like I'm purposeful, I guess. And neither do you. Neither should you. A spacious calendar is the strategy we want. We want room for the big rocks. If you've been in any of my programs, you know what I'm talking about, the big rocks, the things that matter. I always say, show me your calendar, show me your bank account, and I'll show you what you value and what your priorities are. So we don't want a full calendar because for the sake of just having a full calendar. I want to make sure, this is one of my fuels this year, one of the things I'm really building towards. And actually, this is why we're taking a few weeks off in the podcast. I wanted to have some empty space this season, this quarter, to do some other things that are important to relationships and all of the other things, and making sure that my priorities are right. So a full calendar is not the goal. I know that's a hard one for us, right? For us doers, right? And I guess the last one, and this is number 10, boundaries are not optional. Boundaries are leadership. So every time that I honor a boundary, I feel like a stronger CEO. I feel stronger. I feel better. Boundaries show up messy for me when my people pleasing comes out again. I'm a former people pleaser. So keeping boundaries is actually really good. So boundaries for me, here's what boundaries for me look like. I'm sure you have your own, but boundaries are maybe not going on my computer at night. I have boundaries with my clients. I have the best clients. My clients know I do a lot of Voxer coaching. I have a lot of my high touch containers, like my mastermind members, they can Voxer me anytime, and they know, and they don't expect, and they know that I probably won't answer them until Monday morning. Now, if I'm out and it's something that comes in or whatever, but they don't expect it. I just love it. I love working with clients, again, that respect my boundaries. And that's where we need to be. So that's always something I'm working on. Other boundaries can be things like saying yes, maybe I don't even know why we say yes to things sometimes, and then we wonder, why did I say yes to that? Or, it shows up. Boundaries show up in lots of different ways for me. And I'm sure they do for you, but saying yes and feeling guilty maybe around different things, it's always different for all of us, but I'm always working on that. And I don't know, there's just like a time to honor. There's always a time to honor, like honor your boundaries. And I get stronger every time I feel like I kept a boundary. I'm like, yes. So I just had to remind myself of that as I go through. And that works two ways too. As I go through the year and as I planned out my 2026, what do boundaries do I need to take in with me? So I've been working really, really good on that. Working really good. That sounds really crazy, but I've been working a lot on that. And, there's a few, here's a few truth bombs, right? My fuels and drains are also data. So ignoring them costs me more than strategy. Like fuels and drains are important. So fuels and drains are what's fueling me, what's draining me. And I make those lists. I went through them again with my coach and my business coach and my team. So ignoring them, like ignoring the fact that there's fuels and drains there, that's not going to be good for my business or my life, right? So if we're doing a life-friendly business, a life-first business, we need to make sure that we are addressing all our fuels and drains, both personal and business. And again, reminding myself that my mission matters, like my mission and my why and my motivation and why do I do this? And, coming back to that Dolly Parton, post, find out who you are and do it on purpose. Well, I have to remind myself of my mission and my reason and the fact that I want to teach people everything I know. I have 30 decades. That's like one of my motivations. I just want to share everything that I know and that I'm capable of helping people to make their life better, to have a life-friendly business as well too. So, and maybe I don't talk about that enough, and I'm going to do it in different ways. That would be the overarching way that I am going to serve people this year in 2026. I'm going to help teach people everything I know as much as I can. So as you head into 2026, I hope this podcast makes sense and resonates. And my purpose for doing this was I just want to encourage you to remember that, we have to be in alignment. You're not alone if you have anxiety and maybe, like me and my probable undiagnosed ADHD. I do just want to remind you that, you're not alone. There's lots of different people out there. We're all out there just doing the best we can. And as we're heading into this year, just ask yourself, is the way you're doing your business and you're building your business, I should say, still aligned with who you are today? Like that's something I had to remind myself. Not maybe who you were when you opened the shop, not who you were 2 years ago, not who you were 20 years ago, maybe if you opened your shop then, but who you are right now. Are your decisions and the way the things we're doing and the decisions we're making, and we talked about this last week, but as a reminder, are your decisions grounded in your current reality, but still aligned with your vision and your mission? Are your decisions grounded in current reality, but still aligned with your vision and mission? So that's a big one for me. That's always how I have to think about, like, what's going on in the world right now in my life, right? We all have changing priorities. Things change without our planning, right? Life changes. And, are we building a business that we want, again, with the current reality of whatever is going on in our world and your life, but still aligned with your vision and your dreams and your mission? So it's good to check in. It's good to ask. I work with clients every day. We talk about, these are the conversations. This is the conversation I have with a lot of clients, right? Maybe it's time to think about different things. Maybe it's time to change up your revenue streams. Maybe it's time to change your team. Maybe it's time to change your location. Maybe it's time to sell the business. I have these conversations every day. So it's fine. It's okay. We evolve, right? And we change, and we're not meant to stay the same. We're not meant to be doing the same thing. And we are meant, though, to be running businesses that align with us. So hopefully that all resonates. And somebody said the other day, you get what I'm laying down. Is that how you say that saying? I can't say that very, it's like, that's a crazy thing for Wendy to say. Do you get what I'm laying down? Anyhow, it sounds better when other people say it, but there you go. So are you building the business you want? Are you building the business you accidentally drifted into? This was something that I asked myself the other day. This is a question I would ask you. Are you creating a life-friendly business? one that serves you and intentional and on purpose, or just a business that is productive and feels heavy and busy and money in, money out. Like, again, questions you have to ask yourself. These are the questions that build CEO clarity. These are the kind of questions that I love asking myself and have to work through, but also work with my clients and work through all of these things. So these are also questions that change every year. So as you know, before you start your planning, before you start your business planning, make sure that you've done this alignment planning. So last week we talked about making sure that you are the person that your CEO, your business needs, right? The CEO that your business needs. And now this is to reaffirm, are you the CEO that your life needs? The CEO of your life, I guess, is how I would put that. So I'm making shifts, as I said. I have new containers coming out, like new high touch containers. I love doing business. I've just had some real reality checks. Like I just love deeper connections and deeper coaching spaces. And I love that. I'm doing different things this year. Podcast is still saying, I've had a couple of people ask me, oh, you're taking the month off for your podcast, but we're just taking a break. We're coming back. Season 6 has already started. I have people lined up. I'm taking more aligned. I don't know what the word is. More aligned. I'm like feel good offers, feel good things. And I have some expansion things that I'm doing in 2026 I'm very excited about. The podcast is saying, as I said, we're not going anywhere, but we're just taking that short pause for the month of December, the rest of December. So this is our last episode for season 5. Thank you for being here. We're, again, taking the whole month of December off. There will be no episodes. I don't even have repeats on, but we have 289 episodes for you to go back and listen to. And a lot of them are still really valid to help you get through this last month of December. My team needed a break. I needed a break. And honestly, maybe you needed a break from listening to me. But if you do need me, go listen to the repeats. We're back on January 5th with season 6. I'm going to have our most loved annual episode, what retailers should focus on for the year. This will be, I think, our 5th year doing that episode, which has been a really popular one. So I'm working very hard to make sure that you know what to focus on. I'm hitting my mic because I'm a hand talker, so I just hit my mic. So there we go. Anyway, I'm very excited. Can you tell? Can you hear it in my voice? I'm very excited. I'm very excited to lean into 2026 and be with you and be here with you. And I want to invite you to come back and lean into any help that you need. If you feel like, any of this today resonated and I'm ready. I want to feel different next year. I want support. I want strategy. I want alignment, Wendy. Then I want you to lean into me. There's all kinds of different ways we can work together. We can talk about your work. We can talk about growth. We can lean into possibilities that are ahead for you. There's all kinds of different things. If you are looking for deeper support in 2026, the Level Up Mastermind might be the best container for you. It's open for applications right now. If you're listening to this in December, you can also just reach out anytime. Ask me what I have and how we can help you. The Best Year Ever planning session is around. We have a live portion to that. You're invited to come to that. If you're a member of our inner circle, our retailers inner circle, my signature program, lean into that. That is a great program. The doors, here's a hint if you're listening closely, the doors to that are going to be closing. We haven't closed the doors in a while. We are going to be closing the doors early January to just new members opening when we open the doors. But anyway, lots of things happening. So you don't have to do this alone. You weren't meant to. If you want to walk alongside me, if you need a guide, you want to come enjoy my imperfect coaching style, I would love to help you. I'd love to support you. It'd be my pleasure to help you. Okay, my friend, thank you for another incredible season. Thank you for listening. Thank you for showing up for your business, your community, your customers, for yourself. I'm so proud of you. And I say that because we probably don't hear that enough. I'm grateful. I appreciate you. I think you're doing amazing things. Running businesses is not an easy gig, and I know it, and I know you're working hard. I know you're awesome. And again, have an absolute beautiful, profitable, awesome December. Hope you get a chance to put your feet up. Hope you get a chance to take a break. I hope it's everything that you want it to be. And I will see you on January 5th for season 6. Okay, my friends, see you soon. Happy New Year. Can't wait to see you next year. Well, that's it for this week's episode of the Creative Shop Talk podcast. I'm so glad that you're here to join us this week, and I hope you found value in what we're sharing here. I want to remind you that our website has all of the show notes. You can find it at wendybatten.com/podcast. Everything that you need to hear about today's podcast is there. Also an opportunity if you need to reach out to me. If I can support you in any way whatsoever, please feel free to reach out. So thanks for joining us. Please leave a review, subscribe if you can, and never miss an episode. We hope to see you back here again next week. Thanks, my friend. Have a great week.